Hallelujah. I got up here. I forgot my Bible. I'm a little too excited today, I guess. Shalom, everybody. You know, I had this word almost a month ago, a little bit over a month ago. But when I was about to get up and preach, but Isaac got up and preached. And wouldn't you know that the word he gave supplemented mine. And not only that, my dad is back. So the duo is back. This past semester, maybe year, I finished my sophomore year. My sister finished her freshman year. Praise Yah. But most of our elders know that in this time, in our age, we undergo transformation. It is when our life is at its most precarious state. We are most prone to receiving change, whether good or bad. And what we have to watch out for is, are we receiving the good or are we receiving the bad? And I'm talking to the young ones here because I know my elders have gotten up in age, so they're more slightly resistant, but they're still willing to accept. But my fellow young brothers and sisters, we have to watch out for what we're receiving. Now, most of us young brothers and sisters grew up in the faith. Our parents, our old brothers and sisters don't want us to go through what they went through. They want us to follow their wisdom, their experience, so that we don't have to go through the hardship and just take the bread and the good and receive that. But is it easy to do that? Because David said, from the heart of man is all evil. He said he was shapen in iniquity. So whether or not I grew up in the faith, or my brother Shandon grew up in the faith, we were still shapen in iniquity. So no matter how pure we think we are, how good we think we are not there yet. We're missing a lot of things. Once we stepped on this earth and once we started learning, once we started picking up our human habits and our human instincts and our human nature, we lost our spirit from Yah. And what we're working now is to get it back. That's a lifelong mission. That's the bare minimum for what Yah has given us. But once again, I ask you, is it so easy? You know, we've heard time and time again, everything is easier said than done. And we take that saying for granted. Heck, my mom and my dad were gone for 6-7 weeks, and me and my sister were left alone. But we were alone in our apartments, in our houses. When my mom and my dad were here, the chores seemed easy. Cooking seemed easy. Cleaning the house seemed easy. But after a couple of weeks, when we started running out of food, when we started having to plan what we had to cook and buy, it didn't seem so easy anymore. See, once we realize that what we're going through is not easy, then we have a new appreciation for those who have been through it. And that is what is most important for us young brothers, because we have to see and appreciate the experience and the wisdom our older ones can give us. We just have to be willing to accept. But as we grow up, whether we are 60 years old, 10 years old, we will all pretty much go through the same thing. And that is, there will be people in our lives who will test us. Whether it be my own sister, my cousin, my friends, so-called friends, they will test us. Let's go to Job chapter 19, verse 19. Job was tried. By all means, before Almighty let Hasatan touch him, we could probably say he was living an easy life. We would even say, be a little bit envious of Job's life. He had it all. But once everything came crashing down, would we still want to be in Job's position? He says, all my intimate friends loathed me. And verse 19, Brother Stanley. And those whom I love have turned against me. Now, we've heard time and time again that the people we call friends are not really our friends. That our real friends are those who are in the same body, who we have the same commonality in spirit, but we grew up in the world. No matter what we say, we're still in the world. So we have acclimated into this belief that the people we get to know in the world, that we get to be comfortable with, is our friends. And there's some goodness in that, because these friends, not the real ones, not the ones who will guide you and teach you and help you, but these other so-called friends are the best at trying you. Because I don't know if it's just me, but in high school, when I had these so-called friends, I loved them. I still do. But now they barely talk to me. And that's fine. But once I said those words, I love you, we are binded. So that no matter what they do, no matter what they do or say to me or about me, they may or may not, I still have to love them. But is it so easy to do that? Now, our friends may not be what Yo's friends have done. They may not have loathed us, or they may not have talked about us, or they may not have turned against us. But if they do something against the Father, they're doing something against us. Would it still be so easy to love them then? Or would we hesitate? Would we start thinking, well, I don't know if you're my friend anymore. Once we've matured into this perception that our friends are really the only ones who embody Messiah with us. But let's go to Proverbs chapter 17, verse 9. When our friends, our worldly friends, our friends who we get acclimated to, who we get comfortable with, transgress the law, we feel bad. We want to correct them. We want to help them get on the right path. That's our natural reaction. But sometimes, it feels like no matter what we say, no matter how we show them, they don't want to change. But here it says in Proverbs 17, verse 9, it says, he who covers a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates intimate friends. Now this goes for one set of friends and our real set of friends. Just today, sorry, and Natalie, if I have to use you, there was a conflict. And it was about the same thing. Same thing 3 weeks ago. Same thing 8 months ago. It just seems like no one was changing. But if they keep pressing on that same thing, it only seeks to separate. Now, we say we love each other, and it's correct to bring sin or something wrong with brothers and sisters. But there has to be some kind of way that we do that we don't separate ourselves. Because I've seen it. I've seen it in college. That when these so-called friends pick on the same thing over and over, time by time, they drift apart. No matter how close they were beforehand. But we're different, aren't we? We're supposed to be different. So we should handle these things differently. But is it so easy? Because, I thought about it for a while and for a long time. There are some people out there who's not in the body who seems to me to be genuinely kind people. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what do they have that I don't? But then the Father said to me, you're asking the wrong question. It's what do you have that they don't? Because even though it may seem to you that they're better than you, because you have me in you, you're already better than them. But you have something else that's blocking me from working in you. That's what you need to find out. That's what you have that they don't have. And it takes a long time and constant self-evaluation, introspection. It doesn't stop. Because when you think that you're about to reach your limit with someone you love, that you're about to burst out in anger, that moment is what matters the most. That moment is the hardest to overcome. That moment is when self is ready to explode. That is the burden that we have. You know when Yeshua said, take up my stake and my burdens are light and easy? It is easy if we surrender ourselves. But if we carry our burdens at the same time, well, that's only going to make it harder. In Matthew 5, verse 43, we always have to keep in mind that no matter how special we think we are not there yet. We are so far from there yet. And sometimes I feel that way, and I feel so down that I just wonder, and I ask, Father, why am I still here? I know I'm not worthy. Do we think we're worthy of His blood, of His only begotten Son being sacrificed for us? Do we think we're worthy? No, we're not. But we're still here. And that is a question that sometimes I ask myself too much. What am I doing here? Because it seems to me that the way everyone handled it in this book, it seems to me that it came easy for them. It seems that way, but that's my immaturity speaking. That's my lack of experience speaking. For example, it says here in verse 43, you heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. Continuing to 44 says, but I say to you,